padam sadana dalita Sri Vishakhanitanushtam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaurabhakta Vrinda Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaurabhakta Vrinda Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaurabhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranams. You can unmute, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji. Sorry for the delay. Shall we get started, Prabhuji? This one?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, Dandavat Pranams to all. We welcome all of you for the today's morning program, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. And today we are very fortunate to have His Grace, Haridev Krishna Prabhu, and Prabhu will enlighten us on Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, 1st chapter, verses 20 and 21. Over to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I seek the blessings of all the Vaishnavas before we begin. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. So we'll be reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, 1st chapter. Chapter is entitled The Activities of Maharaj Priyavrat, Shloka 20 and 21. Shri Shuka Uvacha Iti iti samabhihito mahabhagavato bhagavatas guror anushasanam atmano lagutaya vanta shirodaro badam iti sabahu manam uvaha. Translation, word to word, meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. We'll recite this shloka once more. Shri Shuka Uvacha iti samabhihito mahabhagavato bhagavatas tribhuvana gurur anushasanam atmano lagutayavanta shirodaro badam iti sabahu manam uvaha. Iti samabhihito mahabhagavato bhagavatas tribhuvana gurur anushasanam atmano lagutayavanto shirodaro badamiti sabahu manam uvaha. Sri Shuka Uvacha. Sri Shukadev Goswami said, iti, thus, samabhihitaha, completely instructed, Mahabhagavataha, the great devotee, Bhagavataha, of the most powerful Lord Brahma, Tribhuvana, of the three worlds, Guroho, the spiritual master, Anushasanam, the order, Atmanaha, of himself, Lagutaya, because of inferiority, Avanta, bowed down, Shirodaraha, his head, Badamiti, yes, sir, thus, Sabahumanam, with great respect, Uvaha, carried out. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sri Shukadev Goswami continued, after thus being fully instructed by Lord Brahma, who is the spiritual master of the three worlds, Priyavrat, his own position being inferior, offered obeisances, accepted the order, and carried it out with great respect. Purport. Sri Priyavrat was the grandson of Lord Brahma. Therefore, according to social etiquette, his position was inferior. It is the duty of the inferior to carry out the order of the superior with great respect. Priyavrat therefore immediately said, yes, sir, I shall carry out your order. Priyavrat is described as Mahabhagavata, a great devotee. The duty of a great devotee is to carry out the order of the spiritual master, or the spiritual master of the spiritual master in the Parampara system, as described in Bhagavad Gita 4.2, Evam Parampara Praptam. One has to receive the instructions of the Supreme Lord through the disciplic chain of spiritual masters. A devotee of the Lord always considers himself a servant of the servant of the servant of the Lord. We'll discuss this and then we will read the next sloka. We'll start with prayers. Om Agyana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Mano Bhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitansya Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauravachvishe He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinavandhu Jagatpate Bhupesha Bhupika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubheva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. I seek the blessings of all the devotees so that I'll be able to repeat whatever I've heard. I heard 3 lectures from 2 from Radhesham Prabhu and 1 from Acharya Ratna Prabhu. I shall try to repeat as per my realization also. I shall speak. I seek a blessing so that it is in parampara and it is pleasing to Vaishnavas and helping all of us to go closer to Krishna. Hare Krishna. So the theme here is very interesting theme. 3 Mahajanas are there. One is Swayambhu Manu. Then we have Brahma and Narada. So out of the 12 Mahajans, 3 Mahajans are there here. And 2 of them are having a particular type of opinion. Another Mahajan is having a different, this one. Priyavrat, although was son of Swayambhu Manu, still he was more interested due to the preaching of Narada Muni in a life of renunciation. So he remained as a brahmachari, happily performing tapasya, etc. And Swayambhu Manu wanted Priyavrat to actually come and take over the kingdom and rule the kingdom. It was not just that Swayambhu Manu wanted, sometimes we also in our dealings with devotees, in order to fulfill some particular selfish ambition of ours, we may want a devotee in a particular service like that. So if let us say I am owning a preaching project, so because my preaching project should become very popular, we may sometimes pull devotees. We may give sermons, we may give lectures and convince them how this is the best, like that. But Swayambhu Manu was not only looking at his agenda that, okay, I want to retire and I want somebody else to rule over the kingdom. Therefore, even though Priyavrat is having a taste for continuing his renounced order of life, I am trying to drag him for my selfish agenda. No, that was not the purpose. One of the thing was he wanted Priyavrat to rule, but we will see in the next shloka how it was done, keeping in mind not just the project or the service, but keeping in mind the welfare of the devotee. So 2-3 things. Brahma also in the previous shlokas was mentioning how Priyavrat was equally competent, had enough skills to rule the kingdom, and within his heart, Brahma and Swayambhu Manu could also sense a desire to also exercise those propensities. And sometimes in our life, we may also want renunciation. In fact, there are different types of vairagya. One is called prasava vairagya, where after the birth of a child, the mother experiences so much pain during the prasava, then she thinks, henceforth, I do not want to beget any children at all. It is too painful, like that. But that is just born out of a lot of frustration or pain. So that will not last long. After 1 year, we see another child coming up. Then we ask, oh, you last time told, so that is prasava vairagya. Then there is the next thing that is called smashana vairagya. So when we see our near and dear relatives, somebody leaving the world, so then we suddenly get vairagya. What is this world after all? Why am I working so hard? Is there any meaning at all to this life? and then we may become detached, but again we may go back to our old ways. So we may exhibit renunciation sometimes out of frustration of material attempts, or secondly, we may also give up many things because of the pain that it causes. So in the Bhagavad Gita 18th chapter also we see what is renunciation in the mode of ignorance, mode of passion, like that. Mode of passion means, oh, I'm renouncing it because it's too troublesome. So somewhere Brahma could sense that there is a tendency, even Swayambhu Manu, that I want to exercise these skills, and at the same time there was a wanting of renunciation, considering, oh, this grahastha ashram is too difficult. Therefore, Brahma is also saying in the previous slokas, sensing all this and seeing that this is what will be a more beneficial path for the spiritual upliftment of Priyavrat, Swayambhu Manu and Brahma were requesting that he actually come and rule over the kingdom. And the proof that it was more based on the devotees' welfare, not on their personal agenda or for the project sake alone, is in the next sloka. We will see Narada Muni and we will see Priyavrat. Both of them, they, without any resentment in the heart, happily accept the instructions given. So if we are instructing somebody, but they sense a selfish agenda, then they may end up doing out of respect for superior, but there will be some resentment in the heart, because it is they know that it is not there is some ulterior motive, or there is some hidden agenda they have. But when we as superiors try to instruct only for the welfare of that person, then the resentment in the heart will not be there. That is a lesson we can learn from the dealings between Manu and Brahma and Manu instructing Priyavrat. It was not for just the sake of project, for also the welfare of the person, keeping overall everything in mind. An instruction was given, and therefore there was no resentment that way. And so Brahma also in the previous shloka says how even though a person may give up his home, family, and go to the forest, he is still accompanied by his 6 wives. And who are the 6 wives? The 5 senses and the mind. So as difficult as maintaining a family and taking the troubles of Grahastha ashram, equally troublesome is the Brahmachari ashram, because there we will still have to deal with the 6 wives, and we'll have to learn to deal with them all alone in the forest, like that. So Brahma was instructing him. And here we see some very important words. One is this one. Shirodaha Badamiti. So what is the mood of an ideal disciple or a subordinate? Firstly, he understands, I am Lagutaya. Lagutaya means I am inferior. Like Mahaprabhu in Chaitanya Charitamrita says, the ideal mood of a disciple. A disciple considers himself a fool number 1 in front of the spiritual master. And we here also, we should think that we are fool number 1, but we should not act like fool number 1. That means, what is not act like fool number 1? Act exactly as per the instruction of the spiritual master, not whimsically try to invent our own methods, like that. So first quality of an ideal disciple is, he is Lagutaya. He feels I am inferior. And how does he take the order of the spiritual master? Because he understands the spiritual master is Trikaladarshi. He is like Paramatma, like Vyasadeva when he was despondent, and when Narada Muni appears. A lot of glorification of the Guru is mentioned. One is the Guru is like the Paramatma who knows exactly what is going on within our heart. Then the Guru is just like the air. The air can enter into every region and it's all pervading. Same way, spiritual master can also know what are the innermost desires of my heart, which I may not even be aware of, and I may justify, no, this is not my desire, but they can see our anarthas, our weakness, etc. So understanding all of this, the instruction when it comes with great respect, shirodaha means offering obeisances as well as keeping the instructions on the head and worshipping it with great respect. Just like how Bharat Maharaj of Ramayana, king, when he was ruling the kingdom, he carried Ram's paduka on his head with great respect. In the same way, whatever instruction is coming from the spiritual master, an ideal disciple, he carries, worships it, and always meditates on how to fulfill it, and with great respect he says. And Badam iti. Badam iti means yes, sir, like that. So even in the here, sab bahumanam, with great respect. Even in the nectar of instructions, we find this verse, how respect for every activity in spiritual life is the most important thing for our advancement. Which verse? That famous verse in NOI, which tells about how when we are having a disease, a jaundice-like disease, although sugarcane juice is supposed to be sweet, because of the jaundice disease, we do not feel the sweetness. Same way, the holy name is sweet, but because of our anarthas, we are not able to feel its sweetness. So how to get that sweetness? Two things are said. Just go on drinking the sugarcane juice, because that is the medicine for jaundice. Similarly, go on chanting the holy names, because that is the way how the anarthas in the heart can be removed. That is one thing said. But in that shloka, one other very important qualifier is mentioned. That is the attitude. Kintu adarat anudinam kalu saiva jushta swadvi kramat tad bhavati mulahantri, like that. So kintu adaram anudinat. So how we should carry out the chanting of holy names or the order of a spiritual master for real transformation to happen? Kintu adarat, when we chant with respect, when we follow the instructions of the spiritual master with respect, understanding this is for my own good, this is the best possible advice, like that. So when that respect is there, then slowly the disease will be cured. Even in Ayurveda, for the medicine to act, first is the faith and respect that this medication will work. Then the medicine will actually start working. So this is something we can learn from the shloka, the ideal mood of a disciple. And Badamiti, I think in Bhagavatam, one or two more places it comes. A disciple means Badamiti. At this time, I would also like to recollect this famous shloka, Radhesham Prabhu very often quotes, the three types of disciples. Uttamas chintitam kuriyat, prokta karye cha madhyamaha, adamo akuriyat, like that it comes. So the first class disciple, very tough for a disciple to be first class. Uttamas chintitam kuriyat. For the first class disciple, he exactly understands the mind of the spiritual master, and the spiritual master doesn't even have to tell. He exactly knows this is what will please the spiritual master, like that. And he acts exactly like that. Uttamas chintitam kuriyat. Knowing the mind, he exactly acts like that. And we see, that's why in our prayers also we see Rupa Goswami, Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam. He exactly understood the mind of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was composing that so-called romantic song during the Rath Yatra, which bewildered many of them. But Rupa Goswami understood. So that is a first-class disciple, because he's so much always thinking of how to please the Guru. He's observing the Guru very carefully and trying to, just like a wife, the relationship between the Guru and disciple is like the husband and the wife. Just like the wife carefully observes the husband and understands when my husband is in what mood and suitably behaves. If the husband is in a lot of tension, then the wife may sometimes speak humorously, may sometimes deviate to some positive things in order to reduce the husband's anxiety, like that. So same way, we see in the lives of many of the exalted devotees of Srila Prabhupada, disciples of Prabhupada, exactly they knew what would give my spiritual master happiness, and they would act, they would speak befittingly. And so that is this one. So during the last Leela of Srila Prabhupada, we see Tamal Krishna Maharaj and all others, they understood exactly that, okay, Prabhupada would be very happy hearing the book distribution scores. So regularly they would read the scores and they would give preaching reports. Why? Because they understood what gives happiness to the heart of the spiritual master, and not just only tell that part, but act also in a way to exactly align with the desires. So that is the first class disciple. Uttamas chintitam kuriyat. And what is the second class disciple? Prokta karyecha madhyamaha. Second class means prokta. That means whatever the guru instructs, he listens very attentively, just like we sing in the Guru Puja every day. The first line, Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma Vandamoyi Savadana Mate. That means, first of all, we should understand Guru's charan is like lotus feet, and it is the abode of devotion. So I have to cling to that in order to get all that bhakti, because my heart is filled with anarthas and it has become hard. So we cling on to the lotus feet, and clinging on means constantly remembering their instructions and meditating on how to fulfill them that way. And Vandamoyi Savadana, very attentive on every instruction, on every action that we do, whether it is pleasing to the Guru. So that is a second class disciple. Prokta Karyecha Madhyamaha. Carefully listens every word, clarifies if there is any doubt, like Krishna telling in the Bhagavad Gita, Tadvidhi Pranipatena, he surrendered, and then Pariprashnena, he asks, please tell me, how can I please you? How can I serve you? And Pariprashnena Sevaya, he questions, he clarifies if there are doubts, and wants to be 100% sure that this is what my Guru wants me to do, and then executes. So that is the second class. And Adamo, Akuriyat. That third class is Akuriyat. Even after repeated instructions, he does not do it, or half-heartedly he does, or half activity he does. Like if Guru gives 2 instructions, he may think, oh, maybe one of them I will fulfill, like that. And then he doesn't do it like that. So we have to pray to the Lordships to give us the strength that we have got such wonderful senior Vaishnavas who are guiding us, Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya. So very easy for us to go back to Godhead. In fact, Rupa Goswami tells Utsahat Nischayat Dhairyat. In that Utsaha, what is enthusiasm? Rupa Goswami says enthusiasm means endeavor with intelligence. One should endeavor, but with intelligence. And what is that intelligent endeavor? The intelligent endeavor is very easy to attract Krishna's mercy. Yasya prasadat Bhagavat prasada. Just we'll have to meditate constantly on how to please the spiritual master, make humble attempts. And Narahari Prabhu often tells, we have to go to Krishna and pray, Krishna, please give me the strength to please your pure devotee Srila Prabhupada. And Krishna will be very happy. Yes, my pure devotee never asks for anything. He says, I am satisfied, I want to serve you. And you are telling, I want to serve and assist pure devotee, I will bless you wholeheartedly, like that. Because Krishna is always thinking how I can make more people serve the pure devotees. And when we go to Srila Prabhupada, we have to pray, Srila Prabhupada, please help me to serve lordships, and Prabhupada will bless us. He will give us the intelligence. So same way, for us, what is endeavor with intelligence? Very difficult to attract Krishna's mercy, because we are conditioned souls. We have committed so many sinful activities. Even this life, with so much good advice, good help, still we have our own ways of living and making infant steps in bhakti, although so many opportunities are there. So a person, a very intelligent disciple, devotee, understands that the best way to endeavor is, I'll have to just focus on pleasing the Guru. And once we please the Guru, then everything else is accomplished, like that. So even in the section between Kardama Muni and Devahuti, there also there are two words mentioned on the attitude of a disciple. There it is mentioned on how Devahuti served Kardama Muni with two words, Vishrambena, Gauravena. Very important. Gauravena is with respect, but Vishrambena means with intimacy. Intimacy means what? We exactly understand the feelings of the spiritual master. So only when we are intimate, but generally when we become intimate, because of our fault finding tendency, we may even start finding fault with the spiritual master. Therefore, first Gaurava, understanding that he's a divine personality, he is not subject to any faults. And then when we keep that Gauravena, then the intimacy will actually help us to understand the mood and finer, intricate details of what is going on in the heart of the Guru. Then we can please the Guru in a nice manner, like that. So here also we see one more thing. One should carry out either the order of the spiritual master or spiritual master of the spiritual master. Like Srila Prabhupada also told his disciples, that famous Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's Disappearance Day lecture, where Srila Prabhupada is speaking. There Prabhupada actually begins to cry in the middle of the lecture. And Prabhupada says, because my Guru had told me in Radha Kund, whenever you get money, print books. Therefore, I am always asking you, where are books? Where are books? And then Prabhupada becomes very emotional and he says, I'm very grateful to all of you because you are taking so much efforts in printing, distributing, reading these books, like that. And Prabhupada says, I'm sure Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati would be blessing all of you profusely, like that. And Prabhupada breaks down. So the spiritual master always tries to fulfill the desires of the entire parampara. So therefore, we see that fulfilling the order of spiritual master or spiritual master, there is no difference, because all of them carry the same desire. That is the parampara system there. That way. And here Radhesham Prabhu was mentioning several other things on how sometimes the instruction may not be very palatable to us, but still we do it. And Prabhuji was mentioning 7 symptoms of real faith in the Guru's instruction. So the first one is the Guru's instruction is all good. Why? Because Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur also said, the only harmless species in the entire creation is a pure devotee. And a pure devotee, why is he harmless? Because he doesn't have any desires, like how Amarendra Prabhu was mentioning that in class on day before yesterday, that Bhukti Mukti Siddhi Kami Sakala He Ashant. Bhukti Mukti. A materialist has an agenda of material enjoyment. Then Mukti Kami wants to get out of material world because of its troublesome. And Siddhi Kami wants to control people and impress people with all the powers. So they are always Ashant. And Krishna Bhakta Nishkam Ataeva Shant. Because Lord's devotee has no selfish desires. So therefore, the first symptom is the Guru's instruction is all good. Why? Because he has no independent desires like that. And second is the Guru's instruction. Prabhuji was mentioning the acronym A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Second one is B, stands for best advice. Why it is best advice? As I already was mentioning that because he knows what is going on within my heart, what are my strengths, what are my weakness. He is able to foresee if I take this path, what will happen, like that. Therefore, it is the best. And third is complete conviction that simply by executing the order of the Guru, everything will happen, like that. So Prabhupada had this faith. Just he took those two instructions, preach in English and set up ISKCON, and print books, set up BBT. And Prabhupada always in the lecture would say, the only credit that I have is I'm not inventing something new. I just want to follow what my Guru wanted. So that is C, having firm conviction. And D is does not require reason or logic. Sometimes the Guru may initially ask us to do something, but then things are changing or situation has changed, and he may ask us to do something else. At that time, a very sincere disciple who has faith, he just doesn't ask why. He knows, he doesn't need any logic or proof. Like in the dealings between Prabhupada and Tamal Krishna Maharaj. Tamal Krishna Maharaj was preaching very nicely, and then suddenly in the US and then in India, then suddenly Prabhupada said, go to China. And Tamal Krishna Maharaj didn't need any logic reason. He just fulfilled that way. So that is sincere disciple who has lot of faith. And E is enthusiasm, eagerness, and emergency. That now in this pastime also, although it was good for Priyavrat, there was another reason also, that it was an emergency that they had to Priyavrat had to take up the kingship because Swayambhu Manu was already getting delayed for his retirement. So when there is an emergency, even at the cost of personal inconvenience, a disciple agrees to extend. And in course of extending, he does not feel that Guru is using me for his own agenda, because actually speaking, Guru doesn't have any selfish agenda for his own propaganda. He's in fact using us to propagate Krishna's message. And in fact, we are making more advancement. Love is tested only during emergency situations also. When everything is good, going and wishing on a birthday party, that is also good. But when somebody is in a very tough situation and they need help, that time if we step up and help, that will have more meaning also that way. So the same way, when there is emergency, like Prabhupada's disciples also, like the 3 couples who were sent to London, what a sacrifice that they didn't have homes, they just went, and they didn't feel that Prabhupada is using us to expand his mission, because it was never his mission at all. It was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission. Even in the press, when they would ask, Swamiji, how old is your movement? Prabhupada would not say, yes, it is 2 years old. I established it in 1965. Never you will see that. Prabhupada would always say, it is 500 years old. It is from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that was the mood of the spiritual master, and the disciples also understood, and they extended during emergency, because they understood here is where I can get more mercy of the spiritual master, like that. And the F is firmly fixed on the teachings of the Guru and the instructions. That means even after the spiritual master leaves, or whether he is present, not present, sticking to all his instructions. Like Prabhupada was very much particular about morning program, reading Prabhupada books. We see all the disciples following that. And last is God knows what is best, or Guru knows what is best. So these are some symptoms of a devotee with lot of faith. And Radhesham Prabhu was mentioning how in our parampara system, many times disciples are made to uh, sometimes do something which may not be very palatable, but the Guru knows it is for his own good, like that. Like Dasharati, the disciple of Ramanujacharya and nephew of Ramanujacharya, was continuously requesting Ramanuja, please give me the meaning of Sarvadharman Parityajya verse. Ramanuja was avoiding. And then once Mahapurna's daughter Atulai had come to Ramanuja seeking for help of an assistant, because at their mother-in-law's place, lot of household work was there. So I need somebody to assist me in washing vessels, etc. And Ramanuja thought, oh, Dashrati, this is a right service for you. Dashrati was a scholar, a sannyasi, but was sent to wash vessels and do assistant work for Atulai at her household, because Ramanuja understood this is what may make his heart fertile enough to understand the Sarvadharman Parityajya verse. And great devotees, they always pass in the test. And we also see the pastime of Jiva Goswami. Twice, Jiva Goswami was reprimanded by Rupa Goswami. Once, when Rup Narayan, the Digvijay Pandit, had come, and he wanted Rupa Goswami to sign that he has got defeated, or come and fight a debate. Rupa Goswami thought, why should I waste time? He signed up and said, you are greater scholar than me. But Jiva Goswami wanted to make Rup Narayan understand that, no, my spiritual master is more learned. So as a disciple, he tried to protect the respect of the spiritual master. He defeated Rup Narayan. Rup Narayan also became humble. He accepted Jiva Goswami and Rupa Goswami as disciple. And in spite of all this, still Jiva Goswami was punished by Rupa Goswami, saying that you have a tinge of pride of scholarship. That is why you try to argue. When I have not, I did not want to fight the debate because it was a waste of time. Because you wanted to show your scholarship, you went and did something like this. And he said, no place for a proud fellow in Vrindavan, get out of Vrindavan. And once more, Rupa Goswami had asked, I think, Vallabhacharya to edit or make some additions on his work. And one shloka, Vallabhacharya comes and tells, I think this is incorrect, etc. Rupa Goswami accepts, but later on Jiva Goswami goes and tries to explain how Vallabhacharya his interpretation was wrong and Rupa Goswami's was correct. So Vallabhacharya also accepted, not that Vallabhacharya was unhappy. And he came and said, you have such a nice disciple. He's so blessed and learned. But again, Rupa Goswami punished. And there was no resentment in the heart of a disciple. Even though with all good intention he did, but still he always feels, spiritual master knows what are the subtle anarthas and he wants to cure it, like that. And whenever there is no resentment, what happens? Also we will see. We'll just read this next shloka and discuss on this and conclude. Bhagavan api manuna yatavad upakalpita pachittihi priyavrata naradayor avishmam abhikshami iksha manayor atmasam avasthanam avan manasam shayam avyahritam pravartayan agamat. Bhagavan, the most powerful Lord Brahma, api, also, manuna, by Manu, yatavat, as deserved, upakalpita, apachitihi, being worshipped, Priyavrata Narado, in the presence of Priyavrata and Narada, Avisman, without aversion, Abhisamikshamanayo, looking on, Atmasam, just suitable for his position, Avasthanam, to his abode, Avak Manasam, beyond the description of mind and words, Kshayam, the planet, Avyahritam, extraordinarily situated, Pravartayan, departing, Agamat, returned. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: Lord Brahma was then worshipped by Manu, who respectfully satisfied him as well as he could. Priyavrat and Narada also looked upon Brahma with no tinges of resentment. So, although they had a different plan, Manu and Brahma came and changed the entire plan, but there was no tinge of resentment. Having engaged Priyavrat in accepting his father's request, Lord Brahma returned to his abode, Satyaloka, which is indescribable by the endeavor of mundane minds or words. Purport. Manu was certainly very satisfied that Lord Brahma had persuaded his son Priyavrat to take up the responsibility of ruling the world. Priyavrat and Narada were also satisfied. Although Brahma had forced Priyavrat to accept the management of worldly affairs, thus breaking his vow to remain a brahmachari and completely engage in devotional service, Narada and Priyavrat did not look upon Brahma with resentment. Narada was not at all sorry that he had been frustrated in making Priyavrat a disciple. Both Priyavrat and Narada were exalted personalities who knew how to respect Lord Brahma. Therefore, instead of looking upon Brahma with resentment, they very feelingly offered him their respect. Lord Brahma then returned to his celestial abode known as Satyaloka, which is described here as being impeccable and being unapproachable by words. It is stated in this verse that Lord Brahma returned to his residence, which is as important as his own personality. Lord Brahma is the creator of the universe and the most exalted personality within. His lifetime is described in the Bhagavad Gita, Sahasra Yuga Paryantam Aharyad Brahmano Vidu. The total duration of 4 yugas is 43 lakh years, and when multiplied with 1000, it equals 12 hours in the life of Lord Brahma. Therefore, we cannot factually comprehend even 12 hours of Lord Brahma's life, to say nothing of the 100 years that constitute his entire lifetime. How then can we understand his abode? So Prabhupada is asking, if we can't even understand Brahma, what to speak of his abode? The Vedic literatures describe that in Satyaloka, there is no birth, old age, disease or death. In other words, Satyaloka is situated next to Brahmaloka or the Brahman effulgence. In other words, since Satyaloka is situated next to Brahmaloka or the Brahman effulgence, it is almost as good as Vaikuntha Loka. Lord Brahma's abode is practically indescribable from our present status. Therefore, it has been described as Avan Manasa Gochara, beyond the description of words and imagination of our minds. Srimad Bhagavatam thus describes the abode of Lord Brahma, Yadvai Paradayan Tadyu Parameshtyam Na Yatra Shoko Na Jara Na Mrityu Natir Na Chodvega. In Satyaloka, which is situated many millions and billions of years away, there is no shoka, lamentation, jara, old age, mrityu, death, udvega, anxiety, or the influence of enemies. So all this is not there. So here in the next sloka, the main thing that is the theme is that when an instruction goes unpalatable to us, understanding, having faith with that A, B, C, D, E, F, G, then we will be able to follow it without any resentment. And what is the fruit when there is no resentment? When there is no resentment, then actually we get the full mercy of the spiritual master. We see in Mahaprabhu's pastimes also, Mukunda was chastised by Mahaprabhu during Mahaprakash Leela. He was not given the mercy because he would associate sometimes with Mayavadi scholars, etc. And Mukunda was punished. And Mahaprabhu told, after 1 million births, tell him he will get my mercy. But what was Mukunda's response? There was no resentment, there was only gratitude. And what happened? Immediately Mahaprabhu gave his mercy because of Mukunda's. So same way, the milk drinking Brahmana who came in the house of Srivas Thakur and who was hidingly watching Mahaprabhu's night kirtan. So Mahaprabhu chastised him. He said, just by drinking milk, do you think you will attain Krishna Prem? What is the qualification? Your austerity is not enough to come into my inner circle of devotees. A very elevated, self-controlled Brahmana, respectable Brahmana, chastised, but there was no resentment. What was in his heart? He was feeling, although Mahaprabhu is the Paramatma, he knew very well that I am hiding. Still, he was so merciful, at least for some time, he allowed me to witness his night kirtan. Only then he chastised. So when there was no resentment, Mahaprabhu immediately called him back and asked him to take part in the kirtan. Like that. So Radheshyam Prabhu was also mentioning how in our life, many a times we take up projects or service or anything without the blessing of the superior. When we do like that, without the blessing or contrary to their desire, because we are convinced that I have this skill, but the Guru is not able to recognize, so I will go ahead and do this. So such things may give lot of success, but it may not give satisfaction to the heart. Just like Vyasadev's section. He wrote the entire scriptures, but only when he humbled himself and heard from the spiritual master and tried to please the spiritual master, he found that satisfaction. We see in the case of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami and Vallabha Acharya. Vallabha Acharya wrote a commentary on Bhagavatam, and his commentary initially he wrote to disprove or to contradict Sridhara Swami's commentary, or to show that his commentary is better than Sridhara Swami's. So Mahaprabhu was very displeased, and because Mahaprabhu was not hearing his commentary, none of the other devotees would want to hear the commentary. Then finally, when Mahaprabhu instructed Vallabhacharya, anybody who rejects Swami is a prostitute. And then he says, now you write a commentary, but not contradicting Sridhara Swami, but supporting and glorifying how what he's speaking is true. Then when the blessings was got, then Vallabhacharya, when he wrote, his heart became satisfied. Eventually, he even accepted Gadadhar Pandit as his spiritual master, like that. And on the other hand, we see Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami also. When he wanted to embark on Chaitanya Charitamrita, how much he sought the blessings, because he understood that only with the blessings, the endeavor may be successful without blessings materially, but it may not give ultimate satisfaction to the heart, and it may not be satisfying to Krishna also. So if any activity is not pleasing to Krishna, however successful it is, what is the use of such success? So understanding these intricacies, even Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami sought the blessings, and only with the approval embarked on Chaitanya Charitamrita. And we see Supreme Lord Mahaprabhu himself, before going to South Indian tour, he sought the blessings of all. Before going to Vrindavan, he sought the blessings of all. Although he is completely independent, still he was dependent on the permission and blessings of his disciples, devotees. So we can take some lessons and understand how important it is to get the anugraha from Vaishnavas and Guru, so that whatever service we do will eventually be pleasing to Hari, Guru, Vaishnavas, and that alone will give us success in spiritual life. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Thank you. Please forgive me if I spoke something beyond my realization. I was trying to contemplate what I heard and try to share whatever I was planning to implement also after hearing the lectures. Hare Krishna.
Hey Krishna Prabhuji, thanks a lot like for so wonderful class, and you have like nicely presented most of things on guru and disciple relationships and how like different categories of disciples and seven symptoms of actual disciple are real faith, which you nicely described in the very remembering way of ABCDEFG. And also you have given the very nice examples also, like even the instructions are not palatable, still like disciple fulfills with heart. Like you have given the nice examples. And also like Mahaprabhu and Mukunda pastime and there also. It was really very nice, Prabhuji. And any devotees have any questions? Saraswati Mataji mentioned Hare Krishna, Dandat Pranam, Prabhuji. Thanks for the wonderful teachings. Wonderful class. Gaurchan Gopna Prabhu mentioned wonderful class, Prabhu. Thank you. And Revelation Prabhu, amazing class. Devotees, lines are already unmuted. If you have any questions, you can unmute and ask question. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranams.
Dandavat
Thanks for the very, very wonderful class, Prabhu. Prabhu, in the purport, I got one doubt that in Satyaloka there is no old age, death, and disease. How to understand, Prabhu?
So, of course, the death, that is the question, Mataji, how there is no death like that. Disease, old age, all that. One thing is that their Brahma's body is made of intelligence. It is not made of this Pancha Mahabhut. It is subtler than that way. So in that way we can understand. Even in the Bhagavatam, it comes when Brahma initially was involved in creation, and then for a moment somehow he got attracted to his own daughter, and at that time Brahma gave up his body. That means he gave up his polluted intelligence. So there also our acharyas explain death in this world means giving up the body, but in Brahma Loka, death means it's just giving up that contaminated intelligence, like that. In that sense, one could say there is no death. And another way of looking at how there is no death is when lifespan is so long, it's almost like immortal, like that. So that is why all the demons, when they worship also Lord Brahma, they think Brahma is immortal. Therefore, they ask Brahma, Brahma to give Amaratvam, because they think he's immortal, because his lifespan is so long. And disease, old age, etc. Even in Swargaloka, we see that they have healthy bodies and they have a lot of potency to enjoy, like that. So Brahmaloka being more superior than even during Pralaya and all, there are different levels of Pralaya. And some Pralaya up to Suvarloka gets this one. And then some Pralaya may some higher things. And in one other Pralaya, the entire universe, including Brahmalokas. That way, there are not many problems. But of course, Prabhupada has always told us also that devotees, we understand from Bhagavad Gita, where Arjuna is asking, is there better standard of happiness there? And then Krishna answers, Brahma Bhuvana Loka Punaravartino Arjuna. Although everything is comfortable in all these places, the only problem is once the span is over, you should again come back to this world only. And you should come back to this Martya Loka. Like Radhesham Prabhu gives the example of, let us say we go to some resort no office tension, no cooking tension. Every time, all different varieties of food, buffet, everything is served, and pleasurable gardens, swimming pool, everything is there. But how long can we stay? Because we know that it's a very costly affair. Every day I have to spend a lot of money. So whatever budget you have set aside, till that you can be happy. Once the budget is over, you have to come back to Bangalore city, go to office, go to the rat race of working and other things like that. So in the same way, it may be pleasurable for a long time, but once the punya is over, Shine Punya Martya Lokam Vishanti. So that way, although it's very high standard of enjoyment, almost zero miseries, still a devotee understands once the lifespan is over, I'll have to come back. Therefore, he only focuses on going back to God. Did it answer, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu. Thanks, Prabhu. Dandavat pranams.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat pranams. Thank you, Prabhu, for the wonderful class. Thanks.
Thank you. I seek the blessings of all so that I'll also make some infant steps in trying to please the Guru and Krishna. Can we end?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
And
One thing. Sorry, Guruji. So the point that I really liked was that we give services, but it should be given in the mood that it is for the welfare of the other devotee. But also there is a catch where we also get into the pride mood that as I did that, so that the other devotees can benefit. So that also is a catch. I don't know.
yes, true. My God, so much false pride. Even while trying to do something for the welfare, we think, oh, see, because of my apt, exact instruction, now the devotee is rightly situated. So how much smart I am. I have so much, how mature I am in bhakti. So
the point is how vulnerable we are, even at, in whatever situation we are.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you for the wonderful.
Therefore, I think we should constantly be remembering how we are constantly being guided when we understand that I am in this situation because somebody is correct, always behind me, correcting me, instructing me, guiding me. Then that keeps us very humble. Radhesham Prabhu also tells one healthy mood of a sadhaka is sometimes at least he or she should remember what I was before coming to Krishna consciousness. And throughout this journey, how many people have taken what all struggles to convert this adamant, stubborn personality into a moldable Vaishnava. So by recollecting all their efforts, one way to remain humble, and that is.
Very true, Prabhuji. Wonderful class. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Seeking your blessings, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Prabhu, one thing which really reflected, on the reflection I was seeing is when you talked about the quality of a pure devotee and how they are non-envious and they really have a larger picture of, welfare. It's also, as a disciple, I was just saying to reflect for me as well, to say that how we see our spiritual master as not an ordinary person. Several times, we get, I get, into the seeing of how to see spiritual master as the real representative of God. Is way, way beyond the bodily platform. So here it comes very nicely with so many examples. I said you should understand the mood of the spiritual master like a husband-wife relationship, how you understand and take it accordingly. This is a very, very nice point. Thank you.
Can we end, Prabhuji, with Vaishnava Pranam?
Yes, Prabhu, just one question, Prabhuji. In the purport, it's mentioned Satyaloka is situated next to the Brahmaloka, but we always interchangeably use those two words.
Actually, there Prabhupada clarifies also the Brahmaloka is Brahma Jyoti or Brahman effulgence like that here. So in that sense, it is okay, I think, Prabhuji, because after the Satyaloka is the Viraja Nadi and all, the Brahman effulgence. Here, what is that? Where is that, Prabhuji?
Like five
Ah,
words.
here. Since Satyaloka, here in this context, Prabhupada is saying Brahmaloka means the Brahman effulgence.
Okay, okay. So, but like in general, like Satyaloka and Brahmaloka are same, but here in this context,
Prabhupada is
you see.
saying the Brahman effulgence.
Okay, brother. Thank you, brother. Okay, bro. You can end the class here with Vaishnava Pranam.
Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Yes. Thank you, Prabhuji, for the so wonderful class, and thanks all devotees for participating.
Hare
And
Krishna, Dandot Pranam, Prabhu.
now we'll end the class, and tomorrow we'll meet again at